Hello, all sentient beings, and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! This week, we discuss a teaser from 01 Studio. We talk about a lower-priced, auto-transforming Optimus Prime, and we have our ToyHax drawing for April. May the 4th be with you. This is the way to episode 484 of Transmissions. Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that gives Charles a night off to go outside and maybe buy a toy or two. I'm your host, Jeremy, aka Yakko, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmission team. Scott, the illustrious Dr. Pants.
Hi, everyone.
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Hey. Let's hope Charles is doing something fun and getting something to show next week, because we can't have him selling stuff every week. That's crazy. Let's talk Transformers.
All right. And as always, we start off the show thanking our Patreons, who are the lovely people that basically keep the lights running here in Transmissions. They support us on Patreon and PayPal by going to transmissionspodcast.com/support. And they have our they have our enduring gratitude and let us give Charles a night off so we can just mess up the whole show.
Oh yeah.
As a bonus for supporting the show, they get access to benefits like early versions of Empire of Rust, which is our live play Transformers RPG podcast. And coming out Monday, May 2nd. Oh, it just came out Monday, May 2nd. Empire of Rust episode 75 XXX, which is uncut and exclusive to Donatrions, and also available to everyone on the Empire of Rust free feed, is part 2 of the Transmissions Empire of Rust crossover, La Mort de Shatter. I'm sure I got that pronounced exactly right. And that was exclusive to Donatrions last fall, and it's now available to everyone. So go to transmissionspodcast.com/rust and check that out. As always, every month we do a drawing for a $10 ToyHax gift code. And if you are a Donatrion, you get entered free. And if you are not a Donatrion and you want to enter, just email contest@transmissionspodcast.com. Include a picture of a toy that you would like to get stickered, and that will be your entry into the contest. So let's go ahead and do the drawing. And Charles has set us up with the spreadsheet and everything. So computer, are you ready? Computer, are you ready?
I'm ready when you are.
I have to turn my head. I didn't realize it was that sensitive.
There it is.
All right. So Charles has told us a random number between 1 and 86. So computer, give me a random number between 1 and 86.
Here's a number between 1 and 86. It's 79.
All right. 79. Go back to that spreadsheet. Number 79 is Levi. Cavitus in Discord. Awesome.
Cavitus. All right.
So congratulations. Daryl will be in touch and let you know what you need to do to get that gift code.
All right.
Woo. All right. So with all that out of the way, how about we talk about some toy news?
All right. And first up this week is something that kind of popped up this week on Facebook, and I think a couple people picked it up and ported it over to Twitter. But I'm going to credit Dime Chalk's Facebook page. If you're not kind of following his page on Facebook, then the hell are you doing with your life? This is he's got everything. He's really a really great source over there to follow. So Dime Chalk's report over on Facebook. It's great. Anyway, this kind of popped up, and 01 Studio, You remember these guys? They are the ones who put out the third-party Unicron, the one that I own, and it's significantly smaller than the HasLab one. And in my opinion, it's probably better. Not in alt mode. That planet mode for the HasLab one is fantastic. It's ginormous and great and what. But so they've put out a teaser this week. It's really out of focus, and you don't really need to see really what it is, because you can kind of tell. But this is Primus. It looks that O1 Studios is putting out a Primus figure, and we can only imagine that it's going to be about the same size as the Unicron, because that would make sense. And they have two images here. Both are equally out of focus, but you can make out that you got a transformation into a Primus figure and then into the planet Cybertron. It looks like it will be coming with a stand to hold the planet in, off the ground, because it needs to be off the ground. It looks pretty cool in this teaser image, this out of focus teaser image. So that's all we've got. We've got these two images here. Can't really see a lot of detail, but I'm going to open it up to some wild speculation here, because why not? We kind of saw this coming, Dr. Pants, and what do you think about O1 Studios doing a Primus?
It's only natural. They did Unicron. You might as well do Primus, because a bunch of the people who picked up Cell did it because, the 86 movie and Unicron and everything. There's also a generation of kids who grew up with the Unicron trilogy, and they know Unicron from there more, and you got to have a Primus to fight your Unicron. Also, just to have, a model of the planet Cybertron would be really, really cool. And, hardly anybody's doing third-party, Transformers Cybertron stuff, so this is also cool for that. It makes sense. It makes sense that they would do Cybertron. It looks just like the Transformers Cybertron Primus. The feet are a little bit more stable looking, but everything else about this looks just like it, and I can't wait to see what it looks like done up. I've grown to love a lot of the Transformers Cybertron designs, and Primus is a really cool figure. I'd love to see their take on it. They did an amazing job with the Unicron with Cell, so I bring it on. Bring it on.
Cool. And Jeremy, you've got a Unicron over there. What would getting a Primus be of any interest to you?
For the Cybertron mode, I think. I would love just a hollow shell Cybertron. I think that would be cool. But I don't know. I have the Armada Unicron and I have your HasLab Unicron. So I'm Unicroned up, but I would love to get a Primus. I'm sure this one would be out of my price range for right now, but I'm sure it's going to look fantastic. And I really like the stand that they came up with. Traditionally, I think we see the one arm holding it up. Mm-hmm. And this one has looks like four legs kind of coming up to a point holding it. And it just seems so much more stable. And I like that. It doesn't really hide much of the planet mode. And, I like how they engineered that. The robot mode looks fine. You can tell that it's definitely just, they're taking their Unicron and, modding it. But I think it's going to be good. And like Dr. Pants said, there's a generation of fans that grew up with the Unicron trilogy. And, you got Primus there that, Hasbro released all those years ago. So it's time for that generation of fans to start getting more of their characters in the third party stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned that you think the robot mode is just going to be their Unicron kind of remolded. I think this is different. I know you don't have anything to compare it to, but I'm looking at mine right next to my computer screen here, and I don't see a lot of similarities other than the fact that they're both giant robots.
Okay.
So they're, it's going to be something that I think is going to be a completely new mold.
I mean, if you look at the calves, like just like on the Cybertron figure, that looks like a whole chunk of the planet because you've got like that crescent part on the sides of them. So, and then you've got the outer part of the plants on the forearms. Like it bears a lot of resemblances to the Cybertron figure. So, I mean,
yeah. Well, and that one was a Unicron remold. So I think that's kind of where my mind was going because the part on the leg where the planet mode just flipped around.
That was not a Unicron remold. That was a whole new figure.
That was a whole new figure.
And I don't know what I'm talking about
because. I've got them both, and they transform almost entirely differently.
I stayed away from it because I'm like, I already have Unicron.
Primus. Yeah, we're gonna have to get Jeremy a Primus here just to mess with.
Give me one of these.
Okay.
All right.
The one thing that I did want to point out is that with Studio Series or O1 Studio Cell, a lot of people have trouble with some of the accessories that are these giant kind of cones that what do you do with these things outside of, the robot mode or the planet mode if you're not using them to hold the thing up? Well, yeah, you can stick them on the arms and they can kind of look kind of goofy, but, outside of using them to hold the thing up, they're really just, accessories here for planet mode. This one here, like you mentioned, Jeremy, has got this really neat stand. And I want to point out that really bears a strong resemblance to a space bridge.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Whether or not these arms come off or if they flip down to kind of finish off a layer of the top of this thing, you might get a space bridge out of this, which would be really cool for a, just an accessory to have, in your collection. A space bridge is one of those things that only the third party has kind of tried to tackle. New Age has been the company to really do it as as an additional piece that have come with their seeker jets, because, they can sell a bunch of these damn things and give you a little piece of a space bridge. So you want to buy like 8 of them and now you got a complete space bridge. But if you get this, It looks like you might get a full freaking space bridge out of it, which is kind of neat.
It does look like there are slots in that stand for another piece to kind of fit into.
Yeah.
To kind of fill out that wall.
It is reminiscent of the Primus toy that had 4 little legs that came out from the bottom so it could stand up when it was in planet mode.
Yeah. Right on. Well, that's all that I wanted to kind of bring to everyone's attention this week. We're me personally, I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for, any news on this because I am kind of, 50% invested into the O1 Studio verse at this point. And if they do a Primus, if it ends up looking as good as the Unicron, then I'm probably in. But that's it for me this week. Jeremy, what do you got?
Well, first thing I have, I'm sure none of us have gotten in on the Robosen transforming Optimus Prime, except, you have a gracious friend, Daryl, that is letting you basically store it for him.
That's right. Yes.
But then there's the trailer. That's another $750, but seeing how that is kind of really out of the price range for a lot of people. How about a great value transforming Optimus Prime? This is a Jada Toys officially licensed Transformers Optimus Prime converting RC vehicle that is just your 86 Optimus Prime cab that will stand up on its own, and it comes with a little remote control device, looks like a game controller, and it says it walks, so separated leg-like movement, stands over 13 inches tall. As a truck, it's 12 inches long. It has sounds and voice lines, so I imagine it's Peter Cullen, audio files. But the robot mode is really, really kind of lacking. I mean, it's just the front of the truck. I mean, basically, it looks like he needs to work out a bit. But, I mean, for all it is, I mean, it's going to be a very affordable transforming Optimus Prime. And I don't think we have a price here. yet, but wait, there is a pre-order listing on Empire Earth. So they don't have the, there we go. So it's going to pre-order for $70, $69.99 in Empire or Entertainment Earth. So
what did you say it was?
$750, $69.99.
Holy shit.
So, you get those officially licensed Peter Cullen things. That's not cheap. But Daryl, what do you think of this? You think this is something that would be a good alternative for those that want the gimmick but don't want to shell out for the Robosen?
No. I mean, I see this as like it looks bad. I don't like. Yeah. I get that the that a lot of people are really interested in the Robosen transforming Optimus Prime, but this is, first of all, $70 for this thing is way too much. Mm-hmm. The arms move slightly more to the side, the head flips up, and then it stands up. Well, right? It does slightly less than the trailer does, the Robosen trailer. But you're going to be able to make it walk and drive. I don't see this being $70, worth of, toy. And it looks cheap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, the fists don't even they're covered up by the side panels, even in robot mode. When you're looking at it at the side view, you don't even see the fist. And that's just, what's the point?
Yeah. If this was $30, maybe even 35, then I'd say, yeah, you know what? This could be kind of fun for a kid to kind of mess around with because they saw that the Robosen one exists and they're like, I want that. And your parents are like, no, you ain't fucking getting that thing. Right? $750. There's no way. And then they said, I'll get you this thing because it's $35, right? But at $70, you've now crossed a limit of price where it's like, if you break it within the first week of having it, you're now getting in big trouble because, it's $70. But I don't know. It's too expensive. That's my big critique. It can exist in its own kind of world and be a fine little toy, but at $70, it needs to look better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And as DJ Ronan pointed out in the Discord chat here, it's not really walking. It's standing up on the back of the back side of the truck where the motor part is. And basically it's rolling.
Yeah.
Not walking. Dr. Pants, what are your thoughts on this?
I hate it. It looks awful. It looks cheap. And I don't even mean just the fact that it looks lazy when it transforms. Very rarely in pictures can I make any assumption about the plastic quality. The plastic quality on this looks like garbage. It looks terrible. And there's very little care and stuff that went into it. And I'm not saying this just as a collector, for me, but for $70, that's the big thing. For $70, this looks like trash.
Yeah.
This is not worth $70 in any way. I don't care if it transforms. I don't care if it sounds like Peter Cullen. Unless Peter Cullen calls you up to say the lines over your phone, there's no reason for this to be $70.
Even the remote looks cheap.
It does. The remote that comes with this, it looks like something you would get from a Big Lots or something for $10. Every part of this looks super cheap. This is not worth $70 at all. I think $30's high even for this. Mm-hmm. But this is, I don't know. I don't know who should get this. I don't think anybody. It just doesn't look good at all. And seriously, the robot design, they couldn't have done a little bit more with it. Optimus be looking thick in this. My God. Everybody talks about Energon Optimus Prime being Fatimus Prime. This takes the cake.
Mm-hmm.
It's awful. I hate it. I hate everything about this.
As a palette cleanser here, we have courtesy of the Evan Brooks on the Transformers design team at Hasbro. We have another behind the scenes gallery on his Instagram, and here we have Studio Series 86 Blur, Hot Rod, Gnaw, and Scourge. And I think this is just really cool, just seeing how the toys came from their initial designs that are like really looking like the animation all the way to the toy and how they had to compromise. And I love seeing this, particularly like there's one in Hot Rod where you can see like the different parts are colored. So you can see like how they're working out the transformation and where all the joints and everything needs to go. So, Daryl, I guess let's start with you. What do you get from these? You know, you enjoy seeing all of these behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, well, specifically for the Studio Series Hot Rod, because that's just a magnificent figure, and going into some of the details of its design process and seeing what they kind of figured out how to do, and the visor in the head and all that kind of stuff is always really cool and neat for me. I like to see kind of the levels in which they figured out where parts are going to go and that kind of thing. It's a really neat process to see. You're seeing the figure in its prototype form and whatnot, and it's very cool. I like this kind of stuff. I try to think of would I like to see a book of this or something like that, and I don't think I would, but just seeing it kind of thrown out there like this, it's very neat. Breaking it down like this, it allows people behind the curtain, and shows them how some of their favorite toys are made. It's a really interesting glimpse into the process. And some people in the fandom, that like to collect the toys, they need it, because they get upset because they want to know why the stuff takes so long to make. And when you break it down for them like this, and you see that, okay, well, this, it all had to take a long time to get designed, and they got to prototype it, and then they got to test it, and they got to fit it, and and then they actually got to build the damn thing. So yeah, it's it's a process, and this is just a small glimpse.
Yeah, I think what I would really like to see is like if you look at the Scourge one, there's one that shows like a rough drawing of the transformation sequence. And I think those are the things I really like to see.
Yeah.
And I would love that as like a print, something like that. Just drawing out, how a figure is transformed, or the Gnaw one that is just kind of all the different component pieces and stuff.
Yeah.
Dr. Pants, what do you think of these?
So I was actually going to bring up the thing about the Gnaw and all the component pieces like broken down, showing how they all fit together. I love that. I think that's so cool to show how all that's just put together and pieced together to get the transformation to work and get it to work out the way it did. The Scourge with the basic transformation sketched out is really, really cool. I love seeing the prototypes of them too, because even the prototypes aren't exactly what we got almost. Because the one I wanted to bring up is the Blur prototype. I like the Blur figure. I do. But I think we can all agree that something's wrong with the face, right? Like something's off. But if you look at,
it's like the cup. We saw the face look better in the drawings than the final.
But this one, if you look at the gray prototype of Blur, I think the face looks fine on that. I don't know what changed. But
yeah.
No, this is all really, really fascinating. I love the mechanics behind this kind of stuff, and I love seeing the design process, because honestly, you get a figure like Studio Series Hot Rod, and you're just like, how the hell did they figure this out? Because it seems like magic sometimes.
Well, yeah, you always think that it'll be like traditionally Grimlock only has usually one transformation, like way of doing it. Like almost all the Grimlocks have the same transformation for the most part. And then you can just see like they're trying to figure out new ways of going from roughly the same vehicle to the same robot. And it's amazing seeing how they're working out all these new things.
Especially with a figure like Hot Rod. I mean, how many Hot Rod figures have we gotten over the years? And they're all so different how they transform.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that is all I got this week. Dr. Pants, what'd you bring?
Before you move on, I wanted to just mention one thing here, because you mentioned that this came from one of the designers, Evan, who we've seen through some of those Fan First Fridays and whatnot. Something came up this week, and it's a quick mention just because it is a little mention here. Somebody on Instagram asked Mark. We all know Mark. He's Stoner Jimmy Fallon.
He's the best.
So, yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And they asked Mark about the Armada Optimus Prime prototype that's been kicking around for like 3 years now, and he answered it. So this is his quoted response. He said, "Here's some food for thought. That prototype was shown. The prototype that was shown was made by Takara's regional-based team. It was just a static model that did not have the capability to do the super mode. Hope that little tidbit interests you." So there you go. It's
definitely trying to get one with a super mode worked out.
Yeah. So it's just something that the Takara team made, just to see that they could, right? And, so it may or may not happen, right? It's just one of those things that, the fact that it got a picture taken of it and has kind of gained this life after the fact is probably something that bothers the hell out of them, right?
Right.
But, it exists,
but,
it doesn't have any kind of capabilities outside of its, of its own existence. It's be like the Bendy Prime, right? Because Bendy Prime can't do the super mode.
But that's fine because it's the best Prime.
But he also said like it was a static model, which also makes me wonder, like, could it even transform then?
Well, I mean, it's prototype, so I kind of doubt it.
Yeah. But I mean, if you look at the life cycle of how long it takes, like the Shatterglass Ultra Magnus we just got, John Warden was involved in, like, the skull face was John Warden. He did that. And how long has he been off of the Hasbro team or the Transformers team?
Yeah.
So, these take years to come out, and with the anniversary of the Unicron trilogy coming up, it wouldn't surprise me to see Armada Optimus Prime that can do the super mode coming in the next year or two.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually expect that possibly with the whole Legacy line, if they continue doing with what they're doing, maybe they'll have it figured out and they can do a Commander class figure for it.
Well, yeah, that would be what it would have to be, I would guess, or two leaders.
Yeah, I would probably say Commander, though. Definitely that. I don't know if they'd separate it.
Yeah.
But
I just want a Bendy Prime. That's all I want is a modern Bendy Prime.
I mean, do you, though? Because Bendy Prime's, like, great as he is. Why modernize it?
Because I want to see what they can do. Like, they can do so much more now with joints and everything. Look at the knees now and the elbows and figures. I want a Bendy Prime with better knees and elbows.
I want a Bendy Prime that doesn't have detachable smokestacks, so I can stop losing them.
That too.
Yes.
Yeah, integrated smokestack.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dr. Pants, what'd you bring this week?
Well, we have first look and pre-orders for Generation Select's Cyclonus. This is the toy color version. So the Kingdom Cyclonus that we got, that was a great. It was a great representation of Cyclonus. They are doing a toy color version, which means instead of like the lighter purple kind of lavendery color of it, it's a deep purple, darker gray. There's some splashes of blue in the midriff and on the horns. He's coming with a decal sheet to put the decals like the G1 toy had, and he's coming with Nightstick, his Target Master. So this looks really, really cool. I mean, it's a great way to kind of reuse the Cyclonus mold, because how else are you going to use the Cyclonus mold? But This looks really, really nice. I love the colors on this. And we got a toy version of Galvatron. Now you can get a toy version of Cyclonus. Maybe down the road we'll see a toy version of Scourge, though I don't know how different that is off the top of my head. But again, this looks really, really cool. If I wasn't going for a more screen accurate version of like all the 86 figures with the Studio Series and Kingdom and everything, I would totally have gotten this version over the regular one because I think it looks better. It seems to have more paint apps, better detail, and plus Target Master and blast effects. That's cool. So, Jeremy, do you need a Cyclonus? You have the toy version of Galvatron, so you need this Cyclonus to go with him, don't you?
No, I have. Was it the toy version?
Because it's the gray one,
yeah, I
right?
guess I do. Yeah, it was the Generation Selects Galvatron.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do need the Cyclonus. I don't have any Cyclonus other than that Battle in Space 2-pack with Hot Rod from years ago.
I mean, that's still a good Cyclonus figure, but this is better.
It is. But yeah, this one looks really good. And just the stickers, like, come on, I love that in this picture where you see the robot mode with the stickers, you can see that the sticker is blocking part of the, I'm guessing it's the landing gear in his leg.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they made the same mistakes that we will all make. But just, I'm wondering if stickers are kind of, if they're using this as a test run, because the last time they did stickers, it was just so horrible.
Yeah.
So do, a limited run, a smaller, there'll be a smaller volume of these sold. But even without the stickers, the paint on this, I mean, the purples and the blues and the grays, it just all looks so good. I really like the look of this. So yeah, this one is definitely on my want list. And then you get the nightstick, which is great. Another actual Target Master. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this guy.
Did the Galvatron come with a sticker sheet?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I can look. It's just like the box is right here. I haven't taken them out yet.
Oh, okay. Well, while you do that, I do want to point out that while I'm looking at this, I mean, stickers are cool and all, but it seems like they've placed a Decepticon logo on Cyclonus' chest over the, like, embossed plastic Decepticon logo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see that.
That's silly.
So Galvatron does not come with stickers.
Oh. I thought he did for some reason. Okay. Cool. Well, Daryl, I'm going to assume you already have a Cyclonus. Seems like something you would have picked up already, but would you like another one? There were 2 Cyclonuses in the movie.
Yes, you're right. There were 2 Cycloni. And I do already have a Cyclonus, and I was able to get one out of Earthrise. I think it was Earthrise. Was it Earthrise?
Kingdom.
Okay. Well, I was able to get them pretty quickly. So yeah, I don't need a new Cyclonus, but I gotta say, I love the look of this deco. This is the original deco from the original toy, and I love it. It looks really, really good. But the purple, I think the purple is way better than the purple that came on the Kingdom Cyclonus.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's more appealing to, my sensibilities, this Cyclonus. I could care less if it comes with Nightstick or not. I never really got into the whole Target Master thing with the older generation of figures, but yeah, I really like the look of this guy. If I see him in stores, it's going to be one of those things that I probably would end up picking up. Just because, first of all, it's a great toy. Mm-hmm. Secondly, it looks fucking awesome. And third, why not? It's awesome. So yeah, looks great. Can't wait to see it. And but I'm not going to chase it. It's one of those things that if I see it, I'll get it. If I don't see it, no skin off my ass.
Fair enough. Like, I'm looking at considering picking it up just to have 2 Cyclonuses, but I did want to ask, Daryl, because you're the toy guy. Do you know, is there a big difference between the old G1 toy of Scourge and the version that we did get recently, color-wise? Is it as different as the Galvatron and Cyclonus are?
Yeah. So the original toy is much darker purple. Yeah.
No, Scourge,
so, I mean,
not Cyclonus, Scourge.
Oh, Scourge.
Yeah, because that would be the only one of the three then who hasn't gotten a toy color version.
Oh, sorry, Studio Series Scourge. It's still no, their colors are pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm looking at my G1 Scourge right now, and my Studio Series is still in its box, but it's yeah. So the blues are pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah. So they look pretty good. I fully expect them to do one, just because this is for season 3, and this is the trifecta, Galvatron, Cyclonus, and Scourge.
Right.
But yeah, they'll do one, and it'll look good too.
Cool. And maybe we'll get a reformatted Cyclonus and Scourge too to go with that reformatted Galvatron. Might as well do all those too, right?
Yeah. As they'll just release Skywarp and Bombshell as Scourge, or as Cyclonus.
Yeah. That makes sense.
They should just have variants on the packaging, having like a different sore spot. Just to drive the fandom crazy.
Absolutely. Oh, that's all I got then.
All right, then. Well, with that, let's move on to trips to the store. And a trips to the store is the part of the show where we show off all the awesome Transformers stuff we got this week. We do it as a video on YouTube, so you can see everything that we've got, but we also put the audio right here in the podcast. So keep on listening as we describe all of our stuff in loving detail, and pop over to our YouTube channel to see it all in beautiful high definition. So without further ado, trips to the store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
Let's get into what we got this week. I am going to start off because all I got is comics this week. I went to my comic book store. It seems like I'm going monthly now, so I have a few things. First thing here is War's End number 3. This is the Sebastian Perez cover, cover A. I think that looks pretty cool, like a propaganda poster. Oh, these are out of order. This is War's End number 2. This is the Chris Panda cover. That's cool. And then the comic we're reviewing in alt mode this week, I have the Beast Wars 2022 annual. This is the Ryan Miller cover. So this is a $6 book. It's got 3 stories in it. So that is all I got this week. Daryl, who's goes back to the camera. It's your turn.
Just good podcasting.
Well, the audio listeners won't know.
But maybe I did get comics this week. I'll edit this.
No, you won't. I need like a technical difficulty slide.
There's no technical. It's fine. I think I showed these off before. I don't know. I'm not going to show comics. Screw the comics. I just got one thing this week. And it's a toy. This showed up at the shop, and you know what? I remember when we talked about it on the show. I said, if I see it and I can get it, if I do get it, I'd probably leave it in alt mode, because the alt mode is sick and I love it. And when I saw it at the shop, it was in robot mode, and I thought, God, that thing looks stupid. And then I transformed it into alt mode, and then I bought it. This is Masterpiece Barricade.
Ooh.
And he looks really, really awesome in his Ford Mustang mode. Yeah, I really like the way that this car looks. Yeah, it's I'm
assuming it's licensed Ford Mustang since it's Masterpiece.
Oh yeah, it says Celine on the bumper. Like, I mean, it's full on licensed. There is die cast in here. Everything on this thing is proper. So yeah, this is a really, really great looking figure. The robot mode is exactly what you'd expect. There's a lot of really interesting little things in here as far as the robot mode goes, but this car mode is why I bought it. It just looks phenomenal. The one thing that it doesn't actually do is there's no frenzy that comes out of the front of it like you'd expect it to with the movie. Now, unless there's a spot in here that I've missed, I don't think there's a frenzy included with this figure. So
was it used when you got it?
Yeah, there's no box. So the only thing that it comes with, and I've checked, some websites to see if there's, what the accessory count is. It just kind of comes with this kind of bladed, arm weapon. So it's
a very beige weapon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, it's I'm going to keep it in its car mode because it just looks really awesome like this. If I can manage a Bumblebee, then I'll get one of those, a Bumblebee to go with it. And then I keep it in its car mode as well. But, then I'm starting a slippery slope of buying, movie masterpiece figures. Ooh.
It's like when you were on the movie Devastator.
Yeah. So I only want the two. I only want a Bumblebee and I want the Barricade, so I can kind of have the two kind of sitting next to each other like the chase scene. It's awesome.
Yeah. But that was one of the original masterpiece. It's not the MPM, right?
It is an MPM, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So any of the movie ones from the Bay movie ones are MPMs. So
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's but it looks good. It's pretty heavy and yeah. So plastic tires as all modern masterpieces are, and that's unfortunate, but whatever. What can you do? Anyway, that's it. That's all I got. Movie masterpiece, Barricade.
All right. Well, Dr. Pants, save us. What do you got?
Oh, I got so much stuff over the past month that I actually couldn't show it all off here because I don't think we got time. But I made some wheels and deals on the internet with some people. The first set of stuff came from editor Mike. He hooked me up with some Unicron trilogy stuff, and I'm going to show off probably my favorite piece from that. He helped me get Cybertron Jetfire. One of the main cast who I didn't have yet. He had one complete. When I say complete, instructions, card, the little catalog that came in the box and everything, he sent that all along. So, but this figure's fun. I've had a real good time over the past year or so getting into the Unicron trilogy and discovering a whole set of figures I never had the chance to play with. So this guy's a lot of fun. I really dig this. Another thing I did is I actually ended up with some Japanese Beast Wars figures. So
I'm trying to take that number one Beast Wars fan crown.
I see what I've got and then decide. But first one I got Lio Jr. So this is of course a piece to Magna Boss, but he is Lio Convoy's son, and he is a little different from the American one because he's got the blue head and more detail on the chest. But I wanted him to go with my Lio Convoy, so I got him. He's pretty cool. Turns into a little lion.
Do they form Magna Boss?
They do.
Japanese?
They do.
Yeah, it's still called Magna Boss. Yeah.
I can't remember if it's still called Magna Boss or not.
You see, that's the rub. I don't think they are.
No,
but I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, because the U.S. version was Prowl, Silverbolt, and Ironhide, and in Japanese it was Lio Jr., Skywarp, and another one that I don't think was a normal Transformer name. It was Stra something. But anyway, the other one,
Santon.
Santon, yeah, he was the elephant.
And they form Magna Boss according to TF Wiki.
Oh, then I guess it is Magna Boss.
It is still Magna Boss, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
The other Beast Wars second figure I got the Beast Wars second version of Bone Crusher. So this is the Buffalo figure we got in the U.S. They took it over there for Beast Wars second, one of the main cast, and instead of white parts, he's got red parts. And cool. I had the original version as a kid. I loved it, but it is lost to the sands of time. But I got this version, so I'll live with that.
I'll have to keep a lookout for that. The store's got 40 of those fucking things. So I have to look out for the red one.
Yeah, the red one's the Japanese one.
Bone Crusher is such a professional wrestling name too. Every time I hear it, whether it's like, G1 or this, it's just I think picture the character as a professional wrestler.
Oh yeah. The next one, not part of a trade. This was from Big Bad Toy Store. I had a pile of loot come in, and this was part of it. And I've shown the figure off before, but let's do the upgrades. I got the Transform Dreamwave upgrade set for the Seacon. So Piranacon, King Poseidon, whatever you want to call him. I got the Dreamwave upgrade set, and this thing just makes this look beautiful. New torso, new shoulder pieces that actually give him a butterfly joint in there. There's elbow fillers, so there's no gaps because you don't have the legs forming the elbow joints anymore. Thigh pieces, bigger feet, and a complete sword. Because my biggest problem with this is I could never find a tentakill, so that meant I never completed the sword for my Piranacon. So I got this mostly so I could have a complete weapon. And honestly, it just looks a lot better. He looks like a real nice piece. He's in my Super God Master Force collection now, but it was a nice little set. Transforming him is a bit of a pain in the butt now because the elbow pieces have to disassemble and the torso causes some issues. But overall, it's a good looking combiner.
You just don't do it.
Wonder, yeah.
You just don't transform it. You just leave it like that, and it's just like, look how cool this thing is. So, I wish.
Yeah, I wonder how it would look under a UV light, like a black light.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, the UV would probably kill the figures over time, but
probably, yeah.
For a couple pictures,
I might try that sometime. I will say, I really wish the upgrade kit had come with different hands. I mean, the ones that came with it are articulated in terms of each finger is articulated, but they're crap. So I wish we had gotten better hands, but I'll make do. And the last one, I am so excited to show this off. This is another part of the trade. I got the
Look at
Tank
you.
and Egg card. I got it.
Look at you.
This was part of a trade I did online.
Good for you.
I could not say no to this. I'm going to admit, it's not complete. It's missing one part.
The little missile?
No, it doesn't have the water pump.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It doesn't have the water pump. Apparently, it disintegrated, and the guy couldn't include it. And I was like, that's fine. I don't care. Give me the whole other, give me the rest of it. So
does the trade outweigh buying it in terms of cred?
I mean, I don't think so. Plus, mine's complete.
It's true. His is complete. It is.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. This thing is so fucking ridiculous, and it's awesome.
I was just giggling the entire time I was playing with it. I'm like, this is the coolest thing and the dumbest thing ever. And my friends all know about my Transformers collection. I sent them a picture and I'm like, this is the best piece in my collection now. And they're all just like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, Japanese,
it's a taco tank. It's a taco
tank.
It's like if you could picture anything Japanese, that is probably the most Japanese thing you could get in Transformers.
And you're like, it's the accessory to this thing.
Yeah. The really
so
cool part,
ridiculous.
The cool part is he actually said that Icar didn't come with his weapon either, but when I got him, it was just hooked onto the back like it's supposed to be, so he just forgot it was there. So
it hides in there, yeah.
Yeah, but I love this thing so much. When I've been trying to find one after you got one because I didn't realize how cool this thing was, but there was no way I was going to buy it. And then r/Transformers Trading, they did me right.
Hey, that's my subreddit. Look at that.
Exactly.
So I helped you.
and the thing was I got on there and the list of stuff you wanted was a list of things I was going to get rid of. And I'm like, this is, we do this right now.
It was fate.
It was. So I guess my advice is to anyone, if you're looking for something, give it time. It may just work out in the end.
Good for you. I'm so happy
That's
that you
awesome.
got that thing.
Oh my God. I have been so and the thing was it came in yesterday. I'm sitting here I really hope it comes in for this week. I just want to be there and show it off. So yeah, man, I'm so happy to have that. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I'm going to find a place because it's the best thing.
If you don't have all the stuff exploded out like that, it fits in a detolf. So, you can put it inside a detolf.
I might have to rearrange the whole thing to fit it in, but we'll figure something out.
It'll be the new centerpiece of your whole display.
Oh, that is the centerpiece of my Beast Wars collection now. Like, to heck with any, like, Optimus Prime or Megatron. Like, let's just shove this right in the center and be like, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I love, by the way, the grabby tentacles.
Yeah.
Because I had him on display earlier. I have a model kit of a cup noodle, and he was just hanging on to that and holding it up. So
nice. Well, I'm trying to think of there's got to be a small cup, and all I want to do is find a small cup so I can put them in there and kind of like recreate the thing from the movie. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Ooh.
I don't think there is a small cup.
You could probably 3D print one.
Yeah, that would be the way.
Well, I think somebody did it with the Studio Series. I think I've seen it online like that.
The Studio Series comes apart.
It does, but it's too big. So
it is. But oh man! But I'm on the taco tank train now. So
damn
yes,
right. Good for you.
Thank you. Like I said, it was fate. It had to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna post it to trade. I will do my best.
Yeah, right on.
That's very cool.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
All right. We're back from the trips to the store, and that will do it for Transmissions this week. So, as always, before we head out, we have to give our shout outs to our Masterpiece Donatrons. So, thank you to John 4X11 Good and Demon Tech 82. And if you would like to join them, transmissionspodcast.com/support and hop on the Donatreon train. And that will do it. So thanks everyone for listening, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.
See ya.
Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.